While Earl Morris was vacationing in California, he learned his wife had been reported missing from their home in Arizona.
What? Mom's missing? What happened?
The search for Ruby Morris involved dozens of police investigators, forensic scientists, DNA testing, and even the Coast Guard.
I'm heading home.
The results of that investigation surprised everyone, especially Earl Morris. Ruby and Earl Morris were partners in both business and in marriage. They had been married for over 20 years and were the parents of 3 grown children. The Morrises were both accountants and operated their own accounting and tax preparation firm.
They had had it for years and years, and they built it up, together from scratch, and it was doing very well.
Their business made them millionaires, and they raised their 3 children in this luxurious mountain home just outside of Phoenix. On June 4th, 1989, Earl Morris headed to California. It was dripping in the bathtub. Dirty clothes were piled high inside the washing machine and hadn't been washed. A carpet shampoo cleaner was left out, but the most troubling discovery was that a .22 caliber pistol, usually kept in a closet, was missing. Cindy Morris immediately called the police.
And that's really all I expected it to be, was another missing persons case, that this person would be found in a couple of hours.
Police could find no evidence of a break-in or any type of struggle.
The house was immaculate as far as the initial appearance. Beds were made, floors were extremely clean. Exterior of the house showed no signs of any disturbance. Walking through the house when I got on the scene, nothing that would even indicate that there had been any type of a problem.
Since Ruby was known to hike in the desert near her home, police searched the area by helicopter.
If she did walk out in the desert to a point and became injured somehow, she wouldn't have been that far from the house. So that's why we felt our best opportunity would have been the helicopter to see if there was any body out there. And we didn't find anything.
But she usually calls, or gets mad or something.
Morris also confirmed that the .22 caliber pistol the couple owned was not in the closet where he last saw it.
We were going in several different directions with this, that the possibility of that she was missing, possibility of a suicide, possibility of a homicide.
The car broke down.
Earl Morris told police that his car broke down on the drive home from California and that he rented a car to complete the trip. But Detective Lugenbuehl noticed something suspicious when he looked inside the trunk of the rental car. Attached to Earl's suitcase was an airline luggage tag for a recent flight from San Diego to Phoenix. A search of the passenger list from that flight did not include the name of Earl Morris, although there was a G. Norris listed. Police put together a group of photographs, including one of Earl Morris, and showed it to the airline crew members to see if anyone recalled seeing Earl on that flight. One of the flight attendants remembered him distinctly because of the poor quality of his toupee. Faced with this inconsistency, detectives decided to search the Morris home further to see if there was any evidence of foul play which might have been overlooked during their first visit.
So what we did is we called in our ID techs to give us a hand, and we asked them to do luminol.
Luminol is a chemical test which can detect the presence of blood, which is invisible to the naked eye. It's an extremely sensitive test which can detect even minute traces of blood, even after it has been cleaned up with water and detergents. When luminol is sprayed onto an area, a black light is used. The luminol will actually glow when it comes into contact with the blood enzymes. Forensic detectives began their search in the master bedroom, spraying luminol on the headboard of the bed. An area instantly turned blue. It was a very fine mist pattern, one they immediately recognized.
To me, upon looking at it, you could determine, because of the distribution, the shape, and the size of the droplets, that it was high velocity from gunshot.
Only a bullet produces a fine mist of blood similar to that found on the headboard. A beating or stabbing produces a much different blood spatter pattern. On the surface of the mattress, they found tiny blood stains, and they also found blood inside the mattress itself. Next, investigators sprayed luminol in the bathroom.
The entire shower stall lit up, basically, with the luminol.
Luminol tests also revealed blood on the cement patio outside the master bedroom, as well as on the master bedroom carpet.
We noticed that the whole bedroom floor, which was carpeted, started to glow.
And we knew that from what we were seeing that we did have a violent crime scene, maybe not a death, but somebody had suffered some pretty good injuries at that point.
But detectives had no idea to whom the blood belonged. To find out, scientists conducted a DNA test on the blood stain. The results of that test shocked everyone. A deep, dark family secret would soon be revealed. Police suspected that the blood stain found in the Morris' bedroom belonged to Ruby Morris, but there was no...
It's highly probable that those bloodstains came from Ruby Morris.
But scientists noticed something peculiar. When they compared Earl Morris's DNA to the DNA profile of his daughter, Cindy, there were no matching bands. Earl Morris was not Cindy's biological father. When they compared Earl Morris's DNA to his oldest child, Randy, they discovered the same thing. Earl was not Randy's biological father either. Randy's DNA matched that of his grandfather, his mother's father. When law enforcement authorities in Tennessee learned of these DNA results, Ruby's father was charged with incest. According to the DNA tests, Ruby's father had sex with her when she was just 15 years old.
Well, we had a surprise, and we felt that perhaps the family would be surprised by it, and that Earl Morris himself was surprised by it.
The Morris children had another family secret to reveal. They admitted that their mother had been depressed recently since she learned her husband Earl was having an affair with her sister, Peggy. In fact, Ruby and her daughter, Cindy, once caught the two together at the Phoenix airport when Peggy secretly flew to Phoenix to meet with Earl.
They had found out what flight she was coming in on somehow and followed him to the airport, and they were taking pictures. And I guess she was going to threaten him that, you know, if he didn't stop seeing the woman, that she was going to divorce him.
Ruby confronted Earl about the affair, but he reportedly refused to end it. Ruby hired an attorney to investigate the possibility that Earl was sending money to Peggy from their accounting business. This letter, dated about 2 months before Ruby's disappearance, demands that Peggy Hinton provide a full accounting of all such payments. Police also found a tape recording of a phone conversation between Ruby and her sister, in which Ruby confronts her sister about their sexual affair.
You just about had a coronary. Well, you know that when I take this to the lawyer tomorrow, with your name on all this stuff, then you're going to get noticed.
We're also looking at Peggy, the sister. She had motive and opportunity to be involved in this too. She lived in Louisiana at the time, but we discovered that she had a planned vacation going to San Diego that weekend. We discovered phone calls that Earl had made to her.
Peggy admitted to police that she had planned to meet Earl in San Diego shortly after Ruby disappeared, but missed her flight. But police knew Earl had been in San Diego, not only because of the baggage claim tag on his suitcase, but they also found his car in the airport parking lot. The car appeared to be clean. But when luminol was applied to the inside of the vehicle, the floor of the passenger side revealed a huge blood stain. So much blood that the individual it came from would almost certainly be dead. A DNA analysis of the blood in the car revealed that it matched the blood stain found in the Morris' bedroom, which scientists concluded belonged to Ruby.
All these things were leading that a homicide was committed, but we still had no body. We didn't know where the body was. We didn't know if he would transport the body to San Diego. Why would he transport it down there? We had no real clue.
The clue was here in a San Diego marina. The Morrises owned a boat which was stored there. Marina employees told police that Earl Morris was at the marina on June 5th and had taken the boat for a ride. When police went to search the boat, they discovered it was missing. The Coast Guard was asked to help locate the missing boat, and they told police about a mysterious fire on a boat about the same size, which burned and sank 13 miles offshore from the San Diego marina. This is actual footage of the fire taken by a television news crew.
There were no survivors, no people anywhere in sight. The first thing that was unusual was the way it burned. It burned pretty much from the center out, and normally the fire's starting either in the engine room or in the fuel compartment. And it just looked very suspect right from the beginning. So the things that stood out with the fact that there was like a lantern right in the middle of the boat, right on top of the melted fiberglass, which looked like somebody had thrown it there and possibly started a fire.
But by the time the Coast Guard arrived, the boat was so badly burned that they couldn't read the name or registration number.
But we had some boat experts take a look at pictures of Earl's boat and had them review the film footage. We had family members look at photographs, some stills off of it, and everybody says it appears to be the same boat.
The trailer for Earl Morris's boat was found abandoned near the before being spotted by the Coast Guard. During the trial, Earl Morris delivered a surprising defense. He admitted that his wife was dead and that her body was indeed on the boat that burned and sank. Morris also admitted to setting the fire and sinking the boat. But Earl Morris insisted he did not kill his wife. He said she committed suicide because of guilt and depression, guilt over the fact that her husband wasn't the father of 2 of their children, and depression about Earl's affair with her sister Peggy.
My first thoughts were that I would be blamed for Ruby committing suicide.
After you had those thoughts, did you make any decisions?
Yes, I did.
What decisions did you make?
To hide the fact with what she'd done.
One at 2 different angles that are not, you cannot create that in one shot.
And a person committing suicide does not shoot twice to the head. The jury saw Earl Morris's last-minute claim of suicide as just one more lie. He was convicted of murder and sentenced to 25 years to life.
No body, no gun, no confession. The science gave us Ruby Morris and gave us the corpus delicti. If it had not been for the blood in the car and the DNA testing, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today. Earl Morris would be a free man.